Welcome to the Deep Dive. Today we're plunging into a truly essential topic for anyone deep in the world of e-commerce advertising: advanced applications and strategic integration of day parting. This isn't just about turning ads on and off at certain times anymore, is it?
No, absolutely not. That's right. Day parting, which simply put is scheduling your ads to run at specific times, has moved far beyond basic time management. We're now exploring a highly sophisticated realm where artificial intelligence, real-time data, and precise cross-channel coordination unlock incredible new levels of precision and efficiency for advertisers.
So, imagine going from a simple light switch for your ads
Yeah.
to a finely tuned, intelligent system that actually knows when your audience is most likely to buy. We've got an incredible stack of sources for this deep dive, and our mission today is to extract every important nugget of knowledge related to how advertisers are truly pushing the boundaries of day parting. We'll break down how advanced technology is being used, how day parting integrates with other crucial strategies, and even glimpse what the future holds for this powerful technique.
Exactly. We're going to cover everything from how machine learning algorithms predict optimal ad times to coordinating your Amazon ads with your social media efforts, leveraging geographic insights, fine-tuning product launches, and even how emerging technologies like, virtual reality and voice shopping are fundamentally changing the game. Get ready for some serious aha moments that will reshape how you think about your ad spend.
That sounds fantastic. Let's start by unpacking the most cutting-edge advancements. How exactly are machine learning, or ML, and artificial intelligence, AI, transforming day parting beyond those simple rule-based systems we're perhaps more used to?
Right. This is where it gets really fascinating because ML and AI are propelling day parting from basic fixed scheduling to truly dynamic, intelligent optimization. One of the most powerful applications is predictive analytics. Think of it this way. Instead of just reacting to past performance, these systems are actually forecasting future events.
Forecasting.
Yeah. For example, specific ML models like long short-term memory or LSTM networks are now analyzing historical hourly data, often pulled directly from sources like Amazon Marketing Stream. Their goal: to predict with high accuracy exactly when conversion spikes are going to happen. We've seen LSTM models achieve an impressive 85% accuracy in forecasting massive events like Prime Day demand surges.
85%.
Wow. Yeah, which means advertisers can adjust their bids before the event even begins, giving them a significant advantage.
Before it starts, that's huge.
It is. And it's not just for big sales events. These models also offer 92% precision in general consumer electronics demand forecasting.
So, if I'm understanding this correctly, it's not just about looking back at what happened last Tuesday,
Exactly.
but actually
No.
predicting what will happen next Tuesday.
Yep.
That's a game changer.
Absolutely. And beyond LSTM networks, there's a whole suite of other advanced algorithms like random forest, XGBoost, and Bayesian optimization constantly at work. These aren't just buzzwords. These tools automatically fine-tune the prediction models themselves. This leads to accuracy improvements of 3% or more compared to traditional non-optimized approaches. They allow for an even higher level of nuanced prediction, catching really subtle trends.
Right, getting that extra edge.
Precisely. Now let's look at some of these AI-driven tools in action. Consider Intentwise. This platform uses predictive analytics to forecast hourly cost per click, or CPC, fluctuations. What this means for an advertiser is that it can enable, say, 15–20% bid reductions during low competition periods, like those really quiet hours between 2 a.m. and 5 a.m.
Right, when clicks are cheaper but maybe less valuable.
Usually.
Usually, yeah.
Huh.
But it also predicts off-peak opportunities with 85% accuracy, automatically scaling bids up during those hidden high-potential times you might otherwise miss.
Finding gold where others aren't looking.
Exactly. Then there's SellerApp. This tool uses AI for automated bid rules, which means it can automatically adjust your bids by up to 50% during high-conversion windows, perhaps like 7 p.m. to 10 p.m. local time when people are often browsing and buying.
50% adjustment automatically. Yeah. And SellerApp even offers a heat map visualization that color codes your hourly return on ad spend, or ROAS. This makes it incredibly easy for sellers to see and then allocate, say, 20–30% higher budgets to these prime red zone periods.
Visually seeing the hotspots.
Precisely. It also allows for pre-configured rules to boost bids by 40% during major sales events like Prime Day or Black Friday. You just set it and it handles the surge.
Wow, that's an incredible level of precision.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it truly seems like this automation is moving beyond what any single person or even a team could manage manually.
It absolutely is. I mean, think about it. Modern machine learning models are processing over 2,500 variables simultaneously.
2,500.
Yeah, this immense processing power allows them to identify tiny, subtle micro patterns in consumer activity that a human analyst simply couldn't detect. This means that over 91% of optimization choices can now be made completely without human intervention. The efficiency gain is just staggering.
91% automated decisions. That's huge.
Mm.
But what about the really futuristic stuff like next-generation computing that's just on the horizon? How might that impact day parting even more?
Oh, this gets even more exciting because we're talking about truly revolutionary technologies. First, there's neuromorphic computing and 5G edge AI.
Okay.
Imagine computing power designed to mimic the human brain's neural networks, combined with ultra-fast, localized 5G networks that process data at the edge, meaning closer to the consumer. When these two technologies combine, they can reduce latency levels by over 80%.
80% reduction.
Which is monumental because it means day parting strategies can be adjusted within milliseconds.
Milliseconds.
Seriously.
Seriously. For example, Intel is actively working on a modular edge design that allows deploying these sophisticated algorithms physically closer to the consumers. Plus, private 5G networks ensure a continuous high-speed data flow for these demanding AI applications. Wow. Okay, so speed is one thing. What else?
Then there's quantum machine learning. This is truly revolutionary. Traditional computers explore possibilities sequentially, right? One after another. But quantum computers can explore vast combinations of temporal variables simultaneously.
All at once.
Exactly. This could potentially identify optimal day parting strategies that traditional algorithms simply can't see because they're hidden in that massive complexity. Early tests suggest it could reduce optimization time from hours to minutes. Imagine the competitive advantage that offers.
Hours to minutes. So it's about finding hidden patterns that are currently invisible to us. And how do these systems model complex relationships, like how a user interacts with a product over time?
Ah, that's where graph neural networks, or GNNs, come into play.
GNNs.
Yeah. Instead of just looking at numbers in a linear spreadsheet, GNNs model complex relationships between users, products, and time as interconnected graph structures. Think of it like a massive web of relationships. Platforms like Pinterest and Alibaba are already utilizing GNNs that can handle billions of nodes, allowing them to make real-time day-parting adjustments based on rapidly evolving consumer behavior. What's more, they can integrate social and contextual signals, giving an even richer, more accurate picture of a consumer's intent at that moment.
Okay, that's incredibly sophisticated.
Wow.
What about privacy or understanding the AI's choices?
Good questions. Looking further into the future, we have federated learning. This is a potential game changer for privacy. It allows multiple advertisers to collaboratively train temporal optimization models without ever sharing their sensitive customer data.
So they pool the learning, not the data itself.
Exactly. This is particularly beneficial for smaller advertisers, enabling them to benefit from advanced AI capabilities that they might not otherwise have access to due to data limitations. And finally, there's explainable AI, or XAI. This is absolutely crucial for trust and practical application.
Explainable AI, making the black box understandable.
Precisely. XAI helps advertisers understand why the AI made a certain decision. This transparency builds confidence in the system and, importantly, helps to detect and mitigate any biases in temporal targeting, ensuring ethical and effective use of these powerful tools.
So AI isn't just predicting, it's enabling truly dynamic day parting that adjusts in real time. Can you tell us more about that real-time adjustment capability?
Yeah.
What does that actually look like in practice?
Absolutely. Dynamic day parting means your ad strategies are automatically adapting based on current market conditions, without manual input. One key aspect is dynamic creative optimization, or DCO.
TCO, right.
This means the ad content itself automatically changes based on the time of day. Think about promoting coffee ads at 7 a.m. when people are commuting,
Makes sense.
then automatically switching to maybe sleep aids at 10 p.m. when they're winding down for the night. Tools like Volant AI are specifically designed to sync your ad content precisely with this temporal context.
So the ad message changes with the clock.
Exactly. Another fantastic real-world example is MNTN's dynamic campaign optimization. This platform is incredibly sophisticated. It measures 53 different signals, including time of day and geography.
53 signals.
Yeah. Their automated systems are mind-bogglingly fast, making over 230,000 ad buying decisions per second.
Per second.
per second and performing 651,000 campaign optimizations daily. All of this is done using real-time data, completely eliminating the need for manual bid adjustments. It's truly a dynamic, autonomous system.
That ability to make hundreds of thousands of ad decisions in real time is truly a superpower for day parting. But as you said, day parting isn't just about individual ad performance anymore. It's about a holistic strategy. So how do advertisers take these technological superpowers and integrate them across their entire advertising ecosystem, starting with coordinating day parting across multiple channels?
This is absolutely crucial for creating a unified and coherent brand message. The goal is cross-channel coordination to synchronize day parting across all platforms, not just Amazon. This includes Google Ads, Meta, TikTok, and even Amazon DSP.
All the major players.
Right. For instance, ProductScope AI actively suggests launching email blasts, social media posts, and search ads simultaneously during identified high-intent periods to maximize impact. Hit them everywhere at once, basically.
Makes sense.
And we've seen large media companies like Warner Bros. Discovery actively aligning their TV red slots with digital retargeting efforts to create a seamless multi-touchpoint experience for their audience across different media.
Connecting the dots between TV and online.
Precisely. To manage this immense complexity, advertisers are increasingly turning to unified advertising orchestration platforms. Tools like Sky allow you to manage campaigns across 100-plus publishers and retailers from a single login.
100 plus.
Yeah, giving you a truly holistic view and centralized control over your entire ad spend. Similarly, Mediaocean consolidates media intelligence and management for comprehensive omni-channel advertising. These platforms really act as the conductors of your entire ad orchestra.
Conducting the orchestra. I like that.
And this sophisticated approach also enables intelligent budget allocation rules. For example, advertisers can use geotemporal budgeting, allocating maybe 40% of their daily spend to mobile ads during morning commutes, 7 to 9 a.m., and 30% to desktop ads during work hours, 10 a.m. to p.m. This also extends to event-driven scaling, where budgets can surge by 50% during critical events like Black Friday, with campaigns synchronized across all channels.
So the budget flexes automatically based on time and place.
Exactly. And this strategy involves strategic timing alignment, which means aligning with channel-specific peak engagement times. For instance, email blasts are often optimal between 8 a.m. and 10 a.m. LinkedIn sees peaks from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. TikTok usually gets busy from 7 p.m. to 10 p.m. And connected TV, CTV, over-the-top OTT peaks between 8 p.m. and 11 p.m.
Knowing where your audience is, when.
Right. And cultural calendars also play a significant role, like syncing Amazon-sponsored brands with Pinterest DIY content during Christmas preparation weeks. It's about context.
That makes perfect sense, getting your message everywhere at the precise right time. But what about combining day parting with geographic targeting? That really seems like the ultimate precision play.
It absolutely is. This combination lets you reach the right person at the right time in the right place. We're talking about multidimensional targeting. For example, Amazon's sponsored display now offers incredibly granular geo-targeting options, including specific cities, states, ZIP codes, and designated market areas, or DMAs.
Down to the ZIP code level.
Exactly. This is particularly beneficial for seasonal products. Imagine targeting ski gear specifically in mountain regions during winter, ensuring your ads are seen where and when they are most relevant and impactful.
Zero waste.
Pretty close. Now, for businesses operating across multiple time zone synchronization is absolutely crucial. You must adjust ad schedules to the local times of your audience. For instance, a single campaign targeting both New York City, EST, and Los Angeles, PST, needs to account for that 3-hour difference in local peak activity.
Yeah, you wouldn't want to boost bids in LA based on New York's morning rush.
Yeah, exactly. This advanced geotemporal targeting is already in action. Digital platforms automatically align ads with users' local clocks. Sinclair Broadcast Group's automated systems, for example, make 230,000 ad decisions per second across multiple time zones.
Wow.
A real-world application of this is targeting coffee makers in New York, EST, and Los Angeles, PST, with staggered day parting. For New York, you might increase bids by plus 25% for EST 6-9 a.m. and for Los Angeles by plus 15% for PST 5-8 a.m.
Tailoring bids to local mornings.
Precisely. And this approach in multi-region tests has been shown to increase conversion rates by 22%. Modern geotemporal campaigns also leverage cross-device attribution, tracking user activity across smartphones, tablets, and computers to identify individual digital desire windows and understand the complete customer journey.
Understanding that whole journey, not just one click, that's fascinating. Beyond just showing ads, how are sophisticated sellers using all this rich day-parting data to time their new product launches and promotional campaigns?
This provides a huge competitive advantage. It's all about data-driven product launch timing. Sophisticated sellers utilize Amazon's search query performance report and business reports to understand exactly when customers are most actively searching for products like theirs. They segment this data by hour, day, and week to pinpoint those peak engagement periods.
Letting the search data guide the launch timing.
Exactly. This approach aligns perfectly with seasonal and market timing. Amazon's consumer search data, for example, reveals distinct seasonal patterns. Search volumes typically start strong in January with 14.23 billion searches,
14 billion.
dip mid-year to a low of 10.63 billion in June, and then climb dramatically to 20.93 billion searches in December.
Big jump in December.
Huge.
Yeah.
This significant Q4 surge clearly informs holiday-oriented product launches. Successful sellers align their launch dates not just with the official product debut, but also with customer purchase availability and the start dates of any special promotional offers.
Timing everything just right.
Right. This enables advanced promotional campaign timing. They use performance scheduling that leverages Amazon's bestseller rank, or BSR, to adjust ad placement in real time, going beyond basic fixed time-based scheduling.
Using BSR as another timing signal.
Exactly. And the measurable success of this approach is astounding. Leading Amazon sellers achieve launch success rates that are 300% higher than those using unstructured approaches.
300% higher.
And they are 4 times more likely to achieve page 1 rankings within their first 90 days. That's a massive impact on market entry.
That is a huge impact on initial market penetration.
Yeah.
What about coordinating day parting with, say, dynamic pricing strategies and inventory optimization? How does that work? Does it connect that far?
Oh, absolutely. This is where day parting directly influences a company's bottom line and its operational efficiency. It begins with AI predictive models for inventory, those LSTM networks we discussed earlier. They can accurately forecast demand by analyzing time-of-day conversion patterns, achieving 85% accuracy in predicting restocking needs.
Predicting stock needs based on ad performance times. Clever.
It is. This helps businesses maintain a safety stock equivalent to 1.5 times the average daily units sold during peak day parts, preventing those really costly stockouts.
1.5x safety stock.
Yeah, just for those peak times. Fulfillment optimization is also key. Geotemporal coordination means staggering fulfillment center replenishment based on localized day-parting peaks. For example, ensuring East Coast warehouses are well-stocked for evening surges, while West Coast centers prioritize lunch hour demand. They also prioritize Amazon's same-day delivery for high-conversion day parts to meet immediate shopper expectations.
Matching fulfillment to demand peaks.
Right. This contributes significantly to supply chain resilience, which involves multi-sourcing like Smithfield Foods' 4-month coffee bean inventory buffer and cold chain integration for perishables using FIFO, or first expiry, first out, systems to manage perishable goods effectively.
Got it. FIFO.
And performance monitoring is also critical. Tools like Scale Insights help advertisers exclude conversions from low inventory periods to ensure accurate return on investment, or ROI, calculations, and they track stockout costs, which can lead to pretty nasty 12–18% order defect rates.
Avoiding bad data from stockouts.
Exactly. As a case study, a global electronics seller implemented this comprehensive framework. They achieved a remarkable 35% ROAS lift during validated windows, an 18% reduction in excess inventory costs, and 12% higher impression share compared to their competitors. Real results.
35% ROAS lift, 18% inventory cost reduction.
Yeah.
Impressive. Okay, beyond internal data like inventory, how are day parting strategies being enhanced through external market signals? Things like weather data, social media trends, even economic indicators.
This is where day parting becomes truly contextual and incredibly responsive to the world around us. Let's start with weather data integration. You can use dynamic creative optimization, or DCO, to automatically serve ads for rain gear during actual downpours. A fantastic example of this is a plus 190% click-through rate, or CTR, for umbrella brands that used a tool called Weather Ads.
190% lift just from targeting rain.
Exactly. Bids can also be increased by 20–30% during temperature extremes, like boosting ice cream ads during a plus 30-degree heat wave. A specific beverage brand used WeatherFX to trigger iced coffee ads when local temperatures exceeded 80 degrees hour, achieving an impressive 41% ROAS lift.
Aligning the product with the immediate environment.
Precisely. Then there's social media trend synchronization. Advertisers intelligently target platforms like TikTok and Instagram during evening hours, typically 7 p.m. to 10 p.m. when engagement peaks. They align ads with viral hashtags to tap into current conversations. Sentiment analysis tools like BrandWatch can detect rising demand for seasonal products based on social chatter.
Listening to the buzz.
Right. A skincare brand, for instance, leveraged Twitty trends around dry winter skin, boosting bids by 25% during 8 p.m. to 11 p.m. slots, which resulted in a 32% conversion rate lift.
Wow, directly tying ads to trending topics.
And for external market signal alignment during periods of inflation, bids can strategically shift to value-focused keywords like discount or budget, allocating maybe 30–40% of budgets to essential categories. Advertisers also preemptively boost bids 2 hours before Prime Day or Black Friday launches, which can capture 22% more impressions by getting ahead of the rush.
Getting tactical with timing based on economics and events
Okay.
and competitive intelligence, that's got to be a critical part of this strategic integration, right? Knowing what your rivals are doing and when they're doing it.
Absolutely, it's non-negotiable. You need visibility into your competitors' actions, especially their timing. The Amazon Search Term Impression Share Report is a key tool here. It reveals hourly impression rankings for specific keywords. For example, if a competitor consistently holds 40% or more of impression share during the 7 p.m. to 10 p.m. window, it's a clear signal of their targeted bid escalations during that time.
Seeing when they push hard.
Exactly. Share of voice, or SOV, analysis is also vital. Tools like Perpetua Stream are designed to detect rival SOV spikes. If you see a competitor suddenly holding 40% SOV at 7 p.m., you might respond by increasing your bids by, say, 20% to regain visibility.
Reacting to their moves in near real time.
Right. Heat map-driven competitive analysis with tools like SellerApp's Ad Genius visualizes rivals' hourly performance, allowing you to detect, for example, those 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. CPC spikes for coffee brands, indicating their peak activity. You can even use reverse engineering via attribution windows. By analyzing competitor ad visibility drops post 3 a.m. using scale insights, you can often infer that they are intentionally suppressing their bids during low conversion hours.
Learning their strategy by observing their patterns.
Exactly. For proactive responses, machine learning predictive models like those LSTM networks can forecast rival bid patterns with 85% accuracy for events like Prime Day evening surges, enabling you to make preemptive bid adjustments. Intentwise actively integrates AI for this very purpose.
Predicting the competitor's moves.
Yeah. Finally, cross-platform social listening, using tools like Amazon Comprehend or BrandWatch, helps analyze competitors' social media blasts. For instance, there are Twitter promotions at 7 p.m., so you can strategically sync your ad schedules to either compete head-on or maybe find a less crowded time slot.
It's truly comprehensive intel. Beyond the advertising itself, how are day-parting insights informing broader business decisions? Things like staffing, customer service, and overall operations. This sounds like it could reshape an entire business.
It absolutely does. This shows the true strategic depth of day parting. It's not just about ads, it's about optimizing core business efficiency. For staffing optimization, call centers are using temporal workforce analytics, meaning they analyze demand patterns by time of day. Advanced scheduling systems can, and I quote, significantly reduce the waste of human and material resources, aligning agent availability precisely with predicted call volumes. Restaurant operations, for instance, benefit immensely from integrated point-of-sale systems that provide daily, weekly, and monthly reports to inform daypart specific decisions, like when to schedule more waitstaff or cooks.
Matching staff to predicted customer flow.
Exactly. For customer service optimization, AI-driven workforce management tools enable precision scheduling and real-time adjustments. This helps maintain service level agreement, or SLA, compliance even during unpredictable volume fluctuations, ensuring better service when customers need it most.
Better service, less wasted agent time.
Right. And when we look at operations efficiency, supply chain optimization leverages AI to analyze real-time data, leading to, and again quoting here, reduced response time, enhanced logistics route optimization, improved demand planning, as well as real-time inventory control.
Wow, impacting the whole supply chain.
It does. This ultimately results in significant improvements in inventory turnover rate, rates of on-time delivery, as well as overall supply chain costs. It also actively supports dynamic production scheduling and highly efficient delivery and logistics. Day-parting insights truly permeate and improve almost every facet of the business.
This all sounds incredibly powerful, unlocking immense potential. But what about the challenges? Let's talk about the complexities of managing all these automation capabilities, especially across different campaign types.
It's true, it's not without its hurdles, but solutions are continuously emerging. For automation challenges, scaling day parting across a multitude of campaigns and product categories demands sophisticated solutions. Amazon's native schedule-based bid rules, for example, allow for plus 10, 50% bid adjustments and can be applied to over 1,000 campaigns directly via the Amazon Ads API,
1,000 campaigns.
syncing with Amazon Marketing Stream every 1 to 4 hours. Additionally, budget rules allow for an extra 25% budget for identified high-conversion windows.
So there are native tools, but maybe limited.
Somewhat, yes. Then you have third-party AI platforms that offer even more extensive capabilities. SellerApp, for instance, provides bulk automation for over 10,000 campaigns, letting you set hourly bid multipliers from -30% to plus 50%. Intentwise specifically excels at competitive counterbidding, automatically increasing bids by 10-15% to maintain impression share when rivals surge their own bids.
Okay, so third-party tools offer more power. What about different campaign types?
Right, campaign type support varies. Sponsored products offers the most robust native support with hourly granularity. Sponsored brands currently lacks direct schedule-based bid rules, but does support budget rules and manual creative scheduling, which can often be synchronized by third-party tools like SellerApp.
So you need tools to sync SB with SPD parting.
Often, yes. Sponsored Display's primary focus on retargeting and product views can complicate its time-based optimization somewhat. So, for strategic recommendations for high-velocity SKUs, it's often best to prioritize native sponsored products rules. But for consistent brand messaging and broader reach, use those powerful third-party tools to mirror day-parting schedules across both sponsored products and sponsored brands.
Tailoring the approach based on the campaign type and goals. That makes sense. Global operations definitely add another layer of complexity, especially with managing different time zones. What specific technical challenges arise for international sellers trying to implement advanced day parting?
Oh, it's a significant hurdle because Amazon's backend defaults can cause major mismatches if you're not careful. The core issue is the UTC PST mismatch.
UTC or PST.
Right.
Amazon's backend systems typically default to Coordinated Universal Time, UTC, or Pacific Time, PST. This means a seller in New York, which is EST, scheduling their ads for 7 p.m. local time, must actually adjust their bids to 4 p.m. PST to align with Amazon's system.
You have to do the time zone math constantly. Exactly. If you have a campaign targeting both Tokyo, JST, and New York, EST, you need to convert UTC timestamps to their respective local peaks. For example, 8 p.m. JST equals 03.00 UTC. Without these proper adjustments, a staggering 30% of ad spend can be wasted.
30%. Just from time zone errors.
Yeah. Thankfully, tools like SellerLab's Ad Genius allow sellers to select specific time zones to help mitigate this.
Okay, so tools help. What else?
Daylight saving time, or DST, complications also frequently arise. The US and EU observe DST on different dates, causing temporary time shifts that can disrupt schedules. Amazon's Ads API currently lacks native DST handling, risking a 5-7% CPC inflation during those transition weeks due to misaligned bids.
Another potential pitfall.
Definitely. This often leads to campaign fragmentation, where sellers are forced to split campaigns by region, separate campaigns for EST, CET, JST, etc., just to apply time zone-specific rules. A single campaign targeting 12 time zones saw 41% lower ROAS than its region-split counterparts, highlighting this inefficiency.
41% lower ROAS, just from trying to manage too many time zones in one campaign.
Right. There's also the issue of real-time data latency. Amazon Marketing Stream, while valuable, updates only every 1-4 hours, preventing immediate second-by-second adjustments during rapid market shifts. Furthermore, some regions, like France, even have advertising curfews banning nighttime ads from 9 p.m. to 6 a.m. local time, which requires programmatic exclusion.
Legal requirements adding complexity.
And finally, tool limitations means schedule-based bid rules are simply unavailable in certain regions like Africa and South America.
So beyond just time zones, what are the primary limitations of the current day-parting tools themselves, and maybe broader strategic constraints that advertisers are facing?
Yeah, there are definitely areas for improvement that impact strategic implementation. A key one is platform-native tool limitations. As we touched on, Amazon's native schedule-based bid rules primarily support bid increases, but they lack robust mechanisms for bid decreases during off-peak periods.
Can't easily turn bids down automatically.
Not as easily, no. This means advertisers often have to maintain baseline bids even during low-converting hours, which isn't always the most efficient use of budget.
Right.
Then there are significant cost and accessibility barriers. Effective advanced day parting often requires those third-party platforms we mentioned, and they come with substantial monthly fees, ranging from $100, $300 per user monthly for business plans to $500, $2,000 plus monthly for enterprise solutions.
That prices out a lot of smaller sellers.
It unfortunately creates a competitive disadvantage for smaller businesses, yes.
Uh-huh.
We also often see rule-based automation rigidity. Many platforms apply fixed percentage changes across all keywords within a schedule, which prevents more nuanced optimization based on keyword performance. They often lack the ability to implement complex conditional logic.
Kind of a blunt instrument sometimes.
It can be. All of this has a direct strategic impact. These limitations often force advertisers to rely on manual management, which scales poorly as operations grow. And that data latency we mentioned reduces competitive responsiveness, making it harder to react quickly and effectively to rival bid changes in real time.
Okay, so limitations in tools and cost. And what about unexpected events? How do things like market volatility, maybe global crises, disrupt these otherwise established day parting patterns?
Oh, they can completely reshape consumer behavior, sometimes literally overnight. Take global crises like the COVID-19 pandemic, for example. It caused traditional shopping patterns like commute times, lunch breaks to just collapse as people spent significantly more time at home, shifting peak engagement hours dramatically.
Everything changed.
Everything changed. Today, geopolitical conflicts are now the top business concern for 36% of businesses, impacting everything from supply chains to consumer confidence, which affects when and what people buy. Economic volatility also plays a massive role. During periods of inflation, for instance, 43% of global respondents reduce general expenditures and 38% actively seek discounts. This fundamentally shifts purchasing priorities and the timing of those purchases, often towards essentials or deal hunting periods.
People change how and when they shop.
Exactly. Supply chain disruptions have been so severe that some advertisers have had to cut Q4 marketing budgets by as much as 50%. This forces marketers to front-load budgets into earlier time periods, like ensuring holiday ads arrive by November 1st, emphasizing the message to shop early because stock might run out.
Shifting campaigns earlier due to inventory fears.
Right. Even changing media consumption patterns, such as the estimated 23% growth in 2025 for ad-supported video on demand, makes viewing patterns less predictable than traditional linear TV schedules, impacting when people see ads on platforms like Hulu or Peacock. And these real-time challenges mean that programmatic advertising systems, which rely heavily on predictable patterns, can struggle with sudden, unpredictable spikes in demand from things like political advertising or crisis-related news events crowding the ad space.
So external shocks can really throw a wrench in the works. With all this powerful automation and AI, how do advertisers strike that crucial balance between the capabilities of AI and the essential human oversight and intervention?
Yeah.
You can't just set it and forget it entirely, can you?
That's exactly right. This is the sweet spot. AI enhances human creativity and strategy. It doesn't replace it. As digital analyst Brian Solis wisely observes, AI might be able to tell us what people want, but it's up to humans to decide how to connect with them in a way that resonates emotionally.
The human touch is still key.
Absolutely. And McKinsey research supports this, showing that businesses using AI-driven marketing achieve 20-30% improvement in campaign performance.
20 to 30%.
But only when properly managed with human oversight. That last part is critical.
Okay, so how do you manage that oversight effectively?
It calls for a human-in-the-loop, or HITL, governance model. This model is crucial not only for mitigating bias in algorithms, but also for reducing risks and ensuring compliance with evolving regulations like the EU AI Act.
HITL, human in the loop.
Right. We also need tiered automation. This means automation handles the repetitive, data-heavy tasks, freeing up humans for more strategic initiatives, creative development, and complex problem-solving. Clear trigger points for human intervention are essential. These include things like performance threshold breaches may be exceeding a 25% A to C ceiling or dropping below a 4x ROAS floor.
Setting guardrails.
Exactly. Also, anomaly detection, where the system flags something unusual that needs a human eye, competitive responses that require nuanced judgment, and critical brand safety concerns where automation might make a mistake.
Knowing when the human needs to step in.
Precisely. Robust systems also need manual override capabilities for immediate human intervention. They often feature circuit breaker patterns that can temporarily disable failing components if something goes significantly wrong. The most sophisticated hybrid systems also use adaptive learning, meaning they actually analyze the human interventions to refine their automated triggers over time, creating a continuous improvement cycle.
So the system learns from the human corrections.
Ideally, yes. Ultimately, as automation handles routine tasks, human roles evolve from being mere data crunchers to becoming sophisticated strategists, creative thinkers, and brand storytellers.
Elevating the human role, that makes perfect sense. So looking ahead, what are the most exciting future innovations and emerging technologies that are going to influence day parting and maybe redefine this landscape even further?
Oh, the future of day parting is incredibly dynamic and full of exciting possibilities. First, let's look at the growing impact of voice shopping and smart home devices.
Voice shopping.
This brings us to the concept of ambient computing, where technology becomes almost invisible, creating an always-on environment that actively anticipates consumer needs. Smart home ecosystems generate continuous behavioral data that can inform ad timing in ways we haven't seen before.
Always on data collection.
Potentially, yes. Then there's biometric data integration. Imagine wearable devices and smart home sensors detecting things like stress levels, energy patterns, maybe even emotional states, allowing day parting to target consumers during optimal psychological windows for engagement. For example, devices like Echo Sensor can achieve 92.7% accuracy in identifying household members via gait analysis through smart speaker technology.
Targeting based on mood or energy. That's wild.
It's definitely futuristic, but the potential is there. The voice commerce market itself is experiencing explosive growth, valued at $42.75 billion in 2023.
42 billion.
And projected to grow at an impressive 24.6% compound annual growth rate, or CAGR, through 2030. A significant 24% of U.S. adults already own smart speakers and use them for shopping, especially for low-stakes, routine purchases like groceries or reordering items.
A quarter of U.S. adults shopping with voice already.
Right. Purchase intent prediction is also advancing rapidly, with ML algorithms now able to predict purchase intent directly from voice utterances. The Deep Intent Prediction Network, or DIPN, shows an 18.96% improvement in AUC for real-time purchasing intent based on how someone speaks.
Analyzing the voice itself for intent.
Yes. We'll also see more contextual commerce, where smart refrigerators could automatically order groceries when supplies are low, and smart entertainment systems might promote content subscriptions during leisure time. A truly fascinating future development is chronotype-based personalization.
Chronotype, like morning person, night owl.
Exactly. Future day parting could shift from broad demographic-based scheduling to individual chronotype optimization, aligning with each consumer's optimal decision-making windows based on their unique sleep patterns and circadian rhythms.
Hyper-personalizing timing to biology. Wow.
Next up, we have virtual and augmented reality, or VRR, shopping. This promises immersive engagement, where VR shopping naturally encourages longer browsing sessions. Research shows that neurologic immersion of sales associates positively correlates with customer spending time, and ML models using peak immersion data can predict purchases with 64–80% accuracy.
Getting lost in the virtual store.
Kinda, yeah. These technologies also create technology-driven shifts in ad timing. AR/VR often requires device setup and transition time, creating natural advertising windows before or during those setup periods. This means session-based behavior will become more intentional, potentially shifting peak shopping hours away from traditional lunchtime or evening peaks to more dedicated VR sessions.
New peak times based on VR sessions.
Interesting. Definitely. Finally, we anticipate significant innovations in real-time bidding and programmatic advertising. This includes even more advanced AI-driven RTB, where LSTM GRU networks can forecast conversion spikes with that 85% accuracy for events like Prime Day surges. Viant AI is already demonstrating its capability to optimize bids across channels, achieving 56% higher schedulability for deep neural network tasks.
Faster, smarter bidding.
Right. We're also seeing the emergence of blockchain-verified option mechanisms that create tamper-proof advertising performance records, significantly enhancing transparency and security in bidding. The BCCCI BUY e-auction scheme, for example, specifically uses timestamps for aliveness in a secure environment.
Blockchain for ad transparency.
Could be. Graph neural networks, or GNNs, are set to transform programmatic bidding by modeling those complex relationships between users, products, and temporal interactions as interconnected graph structures, which is perfect for real-time auction processing. Smart contract automation will enable automatic and highly efficient transactions, maximizing overall social welfare or value in ad bidding.
More automation, more efficiency.
Exactly. New technologies like Intent Key are leveraging generative AI for precise consumer intent categorization and also include patented advertising fraud prevention technology. Market.live from Verb Technology enables one-click simulcasting of live shopping events across multiple platforms with AI powering real-time user-generated content and virtual live shopping hosts.
Live shopping integrated everywhere.
Right. And MNTN continues its dynamic campaign optimization by measuring those 53 signals and making hundreds of thousands of daily optimizations. Their proprietary technology is building a dynamic map for cross-device attribution. Lastly, Detelligent features a real-time decision engine that predicts campaign performance, optimizing bids dynamically, and it integrates email, SMS, and social media marketing into a truly unified ecosystem.
So many advancements converging.
It's true. What's truly fascinating here is how dayparting is rapidly evolving from, a simple tactical setting into a sophisticated interconnected strategy. It's becoming less about just scheduling and more about leveraging every piece of data and every technological advancement to reach consumers at their absolute most receptive moments.
If we connect this to the bigger picture, it's abundantly clear that advertisers who master these advanced applications and strategic integrations, from AI-driven bidding to incredibly precise geotemporal targeting, and even integrating with emerging smart home devices and immersive VR experiences, are the ones who will truly maximize their return on investment, gain significant market share, and build far stronger brands in the years to come. This raises an important question for all of us listening. So, what does this all mean for you? As these groundbreaking technologies continue to transform the advertising landscape at an unprecedented pace, how will you leverage these cutting-edge strategies to redefine your own advertising approach and stay not just competitive, but truly ahead in this dynamic and ever-evolving market?